We're in the middle of a revolution.
What's up, guys? Sean Garcia, Revolutionary Fitness, out here with Terry. We're out here in the BX. We're near Yankee Stadium right now, representing. Today's workout is called Nat Turner workout, named after the legendary revolutionary who fought against slavery, Nat Turner. It's a strength training workout, and it's a real basic one. There's 4 movements. The first movement that we're going to be doing is called a Hindu push-up. Okay, we're going to show how that looks in a minute. Following that, we're going to get into what's called a Gauntlet Squat. Then we're going to move into what we call divers. So this move we made our own, so it's called diver. Jenny Data from RevFit made it. She wants me to make note of that. And the last movement that we're going to do is following that with transverse lunges. Transverse lunges. So 4 basic movements, and we're going to do a pyramid scheme. So what that means is that we're going to start, it's not like a pyramid scheme. We're starting with 15 repetitions on the first round. We're going 15 repetitions on every single movement. Okay, things for like the transverse lunge, 15 repetitions on each leg. Then you're going to follow with 14 repetitions on every movement in the next round. Then 13 repetitions the next round. So on and so forth until you get to the last round where it's 1 repetition on each movement. Okay, so working from 15 all the way down, little to no rest, and this is how it looks in real time. So Terry's going to start off. He's going to first start off with the Hindu push-ups. Very nice. Good. Very nice. And then he's going to move into what we call Gauntlet Squats. So your feet are a little wider than a regular squat. Toes are turned out about 30 degrees. Coming real deep, opening up those hips. And squeezing the glutes on the top. So remember, guys, we're going for strength training. So 15 repetitions, strong repetitions. We want them not too fast. We want you focusing on the contraction of the muscle. Very nice. And then we're going to move into the divers, or what we may end up naming them, the Jenny Datas. So you're going to start in like a Superman position, hands above head, and then like you're diving into the Olympic pool. You're going to swim back, take your feet, your arms, your hands back. Good. And then back up. And then swimming out. Like you're diving into the water. Okay? Nice. Real hard. These are more challenging than they look. Very nice. And he's coming up from there. And he's going into what we call, he's going to go into what we call transverse lunges. Similar to a normal forward lunge. Now you're getting a little bit of an angle twist. Good. So you're coming out at a diagonal and reorientating back to center. Good. These add extra stability because the twisting motions are a little bit more challenging. So make sure that you're stacking your joints right and not hurting yourself. So again, guys, it's called the Nat Turner workout. Remember, it's a pyramid. You start with 15 repetitions, and you guys are working down all the way to 1 repetition. And believe me, by the time you get to the repetition where you're doing like 5, 4, it's going to be real challenging. So work real hard. All right, enjoy. Take care. Beginner variation, you're actually going to be doing poses. So you're going from downward dog and then transitioning straight to upward dog. In downward dog, you're trying to get your heels to the ground, chest to the floor. Upward dog, you're squeezing your glutes and pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Intermediate level, you're going to be doing the standard Hindu push-up, starting in downward dog position, diving down and through, coming up into upward dog position, and then back straight into a downward dog position. Do not reverse the motion on intermediate level. Advanced level, you're going to be doing dive bomb variations. So this is diving through on the Hindu squat and then reversing the motion, coming back to downward dog. This is the most advanced variation. Beginner level, you're going to start with your feet wider than shoulder width, and then your toes are going to be slightly turned out. 30 degrees is usually a sure bet. You're coming down to 90-degree bends on your knees and making sure that your knees are spread wide apart. No caving in on the knees. From the side, you can see how on this variation, you're not coming too deep, you're just coming to a 90-degree bend. At the top of it, you're squeezing through, coming to a nice straight line from ears all the way to ankles. Intermediate level, you're again coming wider than shoulder width, toes slightly turned out. Now you're trying to go as deep as you physically can. This is going to be a very big challenge if you have tight hips, but get down as far as you can without your knees caving in. Advanced variation, you're going to add a little hip opener at the bottom of the squat. So once you get to the bottom, you're going to push with your elbow to your left and then once to your right before coming back up. Again, down to the bottom of the gauntlet, push one way, then the other, then squeeze the glutes and come back to standing position. Beginner variation, you're going to do a prone mountain pose. So hands are by your hips, squeeze through your glutes and raise your upper body off the ground. Remember to squeeze through your glutes and your hamstrings so that you do not hurt your lower back. Intermediate, you will do the standard variation. So starting in almost like a Superman position and then diving and swimming back with your hands. Maintaining an upright position by squeezing your glutes and your hamstrings. You should not come down from this position throughout the whole sequence. Advanced variation, now you're going to lift your feet off the ground and do the same diving into the water sequence. Beginner variation, you're going to step out into a transverse lunge, which is a lunge to the diagonal direction from where you're standing. You come back to a fixed point and then step back diagonally. On the beginner variation, you'll rest on your knee. Intermediate, you're still doing that transverse lunge, but now there is no rest on the knee. Really try to pull back with your back hamstring. And finally, advance, you're going to do that transverse lunge, but now you're going to create more instability by adding a twist at your torso at the bottom of the lunge. This can be very difficult and challenge your balance greatly.
We're in the middle of a revolution because I see the face of things to come.